painting a tree here, just a simple tree. But sometimes I think a tree all by itself is the most regal thing you can possibly paint. It's just a tree I came across at Sawgrass Lake Park when I was taking a walk with my daughter a couple of years back. I like going to this park. It's very pretty here. It's small enough that I can walk around the whole thing in one day, but still big enough to find something new and different to paint every time I go. There's what I'm painting, and right there I have it in black and white. It's actually a color photo that I've turned into black and white just so that I can kind of do a value study. It's a helpful thing to do so that you don't get too bogged down with trying to do colors in the beginning. Everybody has to start a painting their own way, and it's confusing to a lot of people. I try not to think too hard about it. There's an old saying, begin as you mean to go. And that's kind of the rule of thumb I follow. I just start going because I know I want to go in that direction. This tree has some moss hanging off of it and a lot of little leaves and a whole bunch of brush behind it, beside it. I still want to show a little bit of perspective in this. And to do that, that's why I have purple in here, or it's actually blue and red mixed together to make that purple color. There's some very lightly colored leaves in the background there that you don't see the full hue of the color because they're so far back, and they tend to go a little bluish or a light greenish or a light purple. So purple is a good color for me because I can mix purple with green and make it darker, or I can mix purple with green and white and make it lighter. Anyway, I am going in a direction that I spontaneously feel I should be going, which is get down some of these colors that I see and feel. Just shapes. Darks mostly, and I haven't put any white into this yet, but eventually I will. These are just dark, mostly transparent colors that are going down. And I'm pretty much just going to show you the beginning and the middle of this painting, and then I'll show you the finished piece, because details are more of a personal thing that an artist does without really having a thought out plan. It's kind of your personality, your trademark, your signature, the way that you paint without thinking about it. You just do it. But there are things I can show you in the beginning of this painting that can be helpful to you, no matter who you are or how you paint. Here I'm throwing in some of the beautiful blues of the sky. And I very rarely do this, but I am using phthalo blue with white and a tiny bit of the green mixed in here and there. I'm going to cover most of this, but the part of the sky that you could actually see was very phthalo. Again, I'm not worried about whether I've got my tree shape perfect, or whether I've got my sky perfect, or whether the color of the leaves are perfect. I'm just getting colors in right now that I see in big blocks. I'm wiping out some of the branches that I put on the tree, but they're just there to remind me of the shape of the tree. I'll go back in and fix them later. I don't want the sky pure white, so I've actually mixed a little dirty color into it. Some of this is very self-explanatory. I'm looking at my photo and deciding where to put my patches of color. Sometimes it's best to scrape off paint instead of trying to go over it. So I'm just going over the outline of the tree again, and then continuing to layer on top of these colors, getting in a little bit more green to show some of the leaves on the trees and down in the bottom where the forest is. This tree is backlit, so you see it almost as a dark brown, almost black. But I want to put some of the colors in it that exist, which make it much prettier and much more real. So I've put some of my cadmium red light in there to establish some more of the colors. The finish of the picture is the part of the painting that shows the style of the artist, because one person may finish this with a tiny three-haired brush and get every last blade of grass and make it photorealistic. Someone else may leave it extremely abstract like it was when it started. And then I'm sort of in the middle there. I like to make my things look, I would say, so that you know what you're looking at, which is basically called representational. But not a ton of detail. Maybe it looks like detail from far away, but up close, it really isn't. So I'm taking a good look at what I have so far. I've even taken a picture of my painting and the actual photo, put them side by side to get an idea if I'm establishing what I want to here. And I think I have a pretty good concept going. So I'm putting in the rest of the detail, and then I have to decide at some point how much detail I actually want. So at this point I've stopped. I think I have what I was looking for, a majestic tree, beautiful blue skies. There's leaves and branches and twigs everywhere, but there's some light that's shining from behind the tree, hitting up front here, silhouetting the tree, leaving the tree in darkness, but the tree has a lot of this white, funny stuff on it, some kind of moss or growth that turns the bark light down on the bottom. But the essence of the tree has red in it. So I've got that kind of shining through translucently. It's just a bunch of bushes in the middle of the woods, some moss hanging off of it. Just a feeling of a dense forest with a beautiful tree standing there. And that's all I really wanted to get in this photo. And that's all I really wanted to get in this painting. So let me lean it forward just a little. You can see it well. Turn it into the camera a bit. Don't drop it. And that's my completed painting. Got my signature on it. Can't promise I won't touch it again, but I'm happy with it. That's what I wanted to say. That's all that matters. Happy painting, everyone.